everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. What a game we have for you here. The first meeting of the year between two of the NFL's most hostile divisional rivals. This matchup always among the most anticipated games of the regular season. It's the Seahawks going up against the 49ers. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
A pair of 3-0 teams set to lock horns for the right to remain unbeaten. And we're off in week 4. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
But that's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3-to-1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
They run it with Carson. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. On second down, here's Wilson. Incomplete. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And the Niners get there and bring him down. Raekwon McMillan in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Well, these sacks are really piling up. Last week, it was a half-dozen sacks. And here's one on the opening drive.
And it has the potential to be what we call a gap, a game-altering play. Because, let's face it, you just mentioned 6 sacks last week. Now, if you're an offense and you saw that on tape, you got to think to yourself, maybe I bring people in, keep them in, and try and protect my quarterback. It didn't work on that play.
Play fake here on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. It's caught inside the 25. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play there for the Niners. 45 yards. They go play action here on first down. Trying to get it to Robinson, and it's intercepted. It's the former Stanford Cardinal, Richard Sherman. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And a great return as he gets this all the way down close to the 30-yard line. And they told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You got to let that happen, guys. Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Here's Carson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. 21 carries, 70 yards.
And that was his first of the year, and I'll bet he's as surprised as anyone that he hasn't scored more. But what happens a lot of the time is if you haven't scored in the beginning, once you get that first one, they tend to come in bunches.
They run again with Carson. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. They give him a gain of 37. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Deep ball for Goodwin. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. 23 yards on the tuck and run. And now a first down following that long gain. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Quincy Enunwa, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
Brandon, they just got the ball, and already they're in the end zone, and you're getting ready to talk about the PAT. That was fast.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And that's a big collision. He's knocked backward as they will mark him down. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On first down, Wilson. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
That was an interception, but on the field, the guys who are picking it off, they're not saying that. What word are they using? It's Oski. And that means catch the ball and go the other way.
That's your vernacular. I've never heard anybody say Oski.
Ask around. They'll tell you.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Now Wilson on second down. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Raekwon McMillan in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack. Although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't, because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. So now 2 pick sixes that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
Well, number one, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing this second one, and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you're having your hands on your head or shaking your head, walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that, because now it doesn't give him a chance to go to the bench and really settle.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. This is Carson. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play call, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays. So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
He gets this away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Crayvon LeBlanc with a pick. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Bear in mind they had 2 interceptions last week, but that was in 4 quarters. They've got 2 here in the first quarter alone.
And the unsung people in this streak, the pass rushers, because most of the time, they're the ones that affect things in the pocket for a quarterback, trying to throw the football, rushing them, getting them off their spot, harassing them, and that allows the defensive backs, the linebackers, to swoop in and make the picks downfield.
And they're swooping. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him all.
And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it. That's
a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Second down following the incompletion. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And it's a fumble. And the Seahawks have recovered.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And it's a Seattle Seahawks touchdown. The point after try for Gostkowski. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
On play action, they'll throw, escaping the pressure right. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one, picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Garrett Selleck, the tight end, was the target, and it's 3rd down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game, and boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
He'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on third down to bring up fourth. They're going to try and throw. And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. That's an experienced DB picking off a rookie, and you know sometimes those experienced DBs, they love going against the young pups, don't they?
And I go back to the offseason, had a quick conversation with him about, hey, when you play younger quarterbacks, what's it like for you? And he says it's like being a boxer. I give him a lot of different angles, a lot of different looks, and a lot of times I just bait the young guy.
And there he baited him right into the interception. A gain of 7 that time, second and goal.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. Doing it again with his third touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Seahawks are going to take the lead. He's on pace now for 12 rushing touchdowns, and I think he's making fantasy owners smile.
I think you've got to change something on defense, don't you? I mean, we often talk about using a spy on a quarterback who has the ability to run and maneuver outside of the pocket. Maybe they need to change that to spying him, because this many touchdowns this early, that is demoralizing for a defense. One guy breaking them down.
And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. A very solid gain of 27. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Got an open man, it's a noon one. Touchdown, 49ers. Quincy Enunwa with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far, and fun to watch. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Wilson on first down. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon. So the D-line's going to spread out. They go play action now. Wilson. He's going to air this out for Baldwin. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Here's Wilson to throw. Looking middle. It's caught by Gronkowski. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is fielded at the 27. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. He'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Parker. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. They're going to look to throw. Looking deep downfield. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Anuno's got it, complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. They'll look to throw. And he's got a moonwalk. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
They'll set up to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And a nice gain at 21 yards. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll be brought down. His own 10-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
Well, they're watching the film, and it's working. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and short. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
On 3rd down, that's Carson. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
The 49ers offense making its way back out there. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
Back to throw. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. Give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes. Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
A gain of 6 there on first. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course, you got it.
And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, his first touchdown on the year. And once again, the 49ers are back out in front. And his kick is good. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore. Or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. I'm no offensive mastermind, but of all the guys on the field to block, you might want to stop him.
Look, I've got a very simple rule. An unblocked defender is usually your best defender. And he ends up
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Solomon Thomas in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. He was superb a week ago. 3 sacks in that affair. Now 1 here in the second quarter.
Well, how about our conversations this week? With him, it was pretty simple. He said, I've got a few combinations I can try it out they haven't seen yet. And on the flip side, they thought they had a plan to block him. Might need to come up with something else because he looks like he's getting loose now.
Punch, counter punch. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again on offense, here's Devontae Parker now. He's been really good in the yardage category, yet to hit the end zone, however.
A minor blemish against him right now because the work he's doing catching the ball, in some ways he's helping serve as good ball control because the big plays that he's making have really helped out his team.
Absolutely. They're winning on the scoreboard here in quarter number 2. That was good for 16, and the drive will continue. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Robinson. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. Now a play fake here on 1st down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. They go play action here on 1st down. Flushed out. Touchdown, 49ers. And maybe there that was just a case of completely overlooking the guy holding the football.
It certainly felt like it, didn't it? Because on my checklist, okay, as a defender,
QB's last.
running back, fullback, heck, jet sweeps nowadays. Before you even get to thinking about the quarterback might actually keep it.
A drive there of just 4 plays. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
They'll throw on 1st down with Wilson. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. A reminder with halftime approaching, when we get there, we'll ship you off to Orlando. Larry Ridley will have first half highlights and analysis.
And I hope he's iced down his throat because he's got a lot to get through because we've had no shortage of points scored in the first half.
It has been a fun track meet. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. To throw again is Wilson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
Out on the field now. Here come the 49ers.
And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this is incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. And it's second down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. He was looking for Quincy Enunwa that time, and it's third down.
Definitely worth taking in our deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play.
And Robinson with a big catch. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. 15 yards there for number 15. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
And he's got it. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Allen Robinson, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the 49ers add on to their lead. And his kick is right through. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. And the 49ers going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. On third down, it's Carson, and they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. Now Allen Robinson and company gearing up to go again on offense. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Now they try the right side here. And he's got some space here. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So we've reached halftime in a wild. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
He's to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And
he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And quickly they get to the line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Parker. And he gets this one all the way up to the 40-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Looking to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Letting one go deep for a noon walk. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. They'll set up a throw, flush to his right, and seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm, incomplete. Now it's third down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. They have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
On third down, the defense decided to blitz. A very good job of recognizing it, stepping away from the pressure, and finding open space to scramble and pick up a first down.
Back to throw here. Trying to lay one up deep. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there, because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you have people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. They'll look to throw here. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30. They'll get 19 yards there. And it'll be a San Francisco first down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets, because
nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball, because you're going after him.
Here's Wilson. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 6 there on first.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they got in him.
They really do.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On third down, Wilson. Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks able to make this a close game again. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Here we go. What? None. What? None.
On play action, they'll throw. Caught out left side by Robinson. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Sheldon Richardson with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Robinson. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A nice gain of 21 yards. Now back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Devontae Parker, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
Not too many missteps in the red zone thus far. He was going for his 5th touchdown pass. His man couldn't shake free there, but boy, you know he's going to take another shot before this one's over.
Yeah, exactly, because you know 3 is good, 4 is excellent. You get 5, that's a whale of a game. His throw caught right around the 6. That one goes for 16 yards and sets him up first and goal. Back to throw again. Buying time to his left.
He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
And this is going to be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the...
And oh, that is going to be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Through the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah. Will they make up for it? Back to throw now on first down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. He'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to... And that's caught inside the 35. That one will go down as 33 yards on the third down conversion. They'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Parker. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Quincy Enunwa, his 3rd touchdown of the game, his 8th on the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now it's Carson. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Here's Wilson. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going...
And got his man complete. 20, 10. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, 91 yards. And the 49ers add on to their lead. So from back deep in their home territory, all the way into the end zone, you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. On 1st down, Wilson. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter play. Happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Seahawks on 3rd down, just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. It's taken to the 26. Avoids him at the 40. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was really easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And this is caught. A big play there for the Niners. 58 yards.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Raekwon McMillan in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Here's Wilson to throw. Baldwin with it over the middle. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And, a good hit there and knocked down hard at the 14. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
They'll look to set up his blockers. Oh, he slipped right by him. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Niners set up well. They take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Marquise Goodwin, his 3rd touchdown of the season, all coming in this game. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
A big play that time for the Seahawks. 41 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield, but when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Now Wilson on 1st down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, Wilson. Able to avoid him. And now running right through him. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. And that one results in 35 yards. And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. They'll try to run with Carson. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And he floats one there, incomplete. Jimmy Graham, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short. Now Wilson. Ball had his his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
And the 13-year man puts it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
Great job by the kick team there to get the football, but also don't forget about the man that started it, the lonesome kicker himself.
I love that you brought him into it because he doesn't get nearly the attention he deserves. Oftentimes, it's only when it's negative. In this case, he created a positive play for his team.
Now it's Wilson. He gets it to Baldwin. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Second and very short here, less than a yard. Wilson. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Out routes are always timing routes. And if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A Seahawk first down. Wilson to his big target, Graham.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Solomon Thomas in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Over the middle, that's taken in by Gronkowski. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Wilson to throw on 3rd down. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
And the 49er hands team does its job. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more.
And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Marquise Goodwin, 38 yards. And the 49ers, they're just pouring it on. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He gives it to Humphreys. And he's going to be stopped dead in his tracks. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play, as we'll get a timeout. As they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. Wide open. Gronkowski. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's going to go down just outside of the 5, right around the 6-yard line. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Cooper Kupp there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The 49ers getting set to trot out there. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 29. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. Operating from the gun, Wilson. Room here to run. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Here's Wilson looking to throw on second down. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. One last shot for Wilson. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game.